Hello everyone and welcome back to Classic Comics. Now this is my review of Superman and Lois episode 5, which is called The Best of Smallville. This review will have spoilers in it, by the way, so if you haven't seen the episode yet, you may want to watch that first and then come back. Okay, so in Smallville they're getting ready for this event called the Harvest Festival, which is a kind of like a county fair type of thing. Clark loves the Harvest Festival, so he's all excited for it, and he wants the boys to be excited for it too, but they really aren't. Sarah asks Jordan out on a date to the Harvest Festival, and he agrees. And also Jonathan's girlfriend, I think her name is Eliza, is going to be visiting from Metropolis to see him, and he's going to take her to the festival as well. Now, Lois gets a call from Chrissy at the Gazette, who tells her that Sharon Powell is there with her son Derek, whose disappearance Lois had been investigating. So he tells Lois and Chrissy that he was in a car wreck and he had a head injury, and that's why he was out of touch with his mother and wasn't communicating with her, and he assures them that he's fine now and, there's nothing to worry about. Chrissy and Lois are convinced he's lying, but they aren't really sure what to do next. Then we see that Captain Luthor is in Smallville, and he is observing Lois, because he knows that wherever Lois is, Superman isn't far away. Jonathan gets a call from his girlfriend who tells him that she's not actually going to be coming to Smallville, and she actually breaks up with him, and Jonathan is really pissed off about it. The Harvest Festival involves a charity drive, and Sharon and Derek come to the City Hall to donate some goods for the festival, but then Derek starts to have some sort of migraine or pain, so he excuses himself and he goes to another room, and then this energy kind of builds up within him, and then he fires off heat vision, and this sets the building on fire. Now, throughout this episode, we've gotten flashbacks from Clark as he looks back at his last days in Smallville before he actually left. Now, we see Martha Kent in some of these flashbacks, and as I was watching the episode, I thought that there was something familiar about the actress playing Martha. And about halfway through the episode, I realized who she was. The actress is Michelle Scarabelli, and she was actually on Alien Nation back in the late 80s. She played one of the visitors. And she was also on an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. She played a member of the crew who fell in love with Data in one of the episodes, so it was a surprise seeing her again. The fire department shows up to deal with the fire at City Hall. One of the firemen, who's named Mitch, goes missing, and Kyle goes back into the building to find him. He finds Mitch, who is injured, and he starts helping him out of the building. The ceiling starts to collapse on them, but Clark arrives and he uses his super breath to blow the debris away from them and put the fire out, and then he leaves. Afterward, Clark tells Lois that the donated goods for the Harvest Festival were all destroyed in the fire. He also tells her that Sharon Powell was at the scene of the fire. Lois finds this suspicious, so she decides to investigate why Sharon was there. Lois questions Kyle about the fire, and she asks if Derek was present on the scene, and Kyle says that, yeah, he remembered seeing Derek there. Lois calls Chrissy to tell her about this, and while she's on the phone, Lois is approached by Captain Luthor. Luthor tells Lois that his name is August Bridgewater, and that he's a reporter and wants to work with her on her story about Morgan Edge. He claims he might be able to get some kind of dirt on Edge, and Lois tells him that if he comes up with anything, to give her a call. Sharon goes to the Gazette and tells Chrissy that she doesn't know where Derek has gone. After the fire, he disappeared and sent her a text saying that he needed to be alone and clear his head for a while. Chrissy uses the cell phone to get Derek's location and then goes to investigate. Now, after his girlfriend broke up with him, Jonathan finally can't take anymore, and he blows up at Clark about moving to Smallville, how it took him away from his friends, sabotaged his football prospects, and he hates the place. He wants to live with a friend in Metropolis, but Clark won't allow him to go there. Chrissy tracks Derek to this building where he is meeting with a woman that works for Morgan Edge. Now, this woman puts him into some sort of machine. It kind of looks like an MRI machine, but it's clearly not. She puts him into it, and it bombards him with some kind of energy. At the Harvest Festival, Sarah and Jordan are on their date. Then Jonathan shows up with some of the guys from the football team, and they've been drinking, so Jonathan's kind of drunk, and he interrupts their date. And then Sarah gets butthurt and storms off because apparently she's the only person in Smallville who's actually allowed to have personal issues. Chrissy calls Lois and tells her about Derek, which Clark overhears, and he goes to the building where they're located and he encounters Derek. Derek flies away and then Clark chases after him. Luthor detects them flying, so then he chases after them in his RV. Luthor eventually locates them and then he fires some kind of rocket launcher at them, which knocks them both out of the sky. And then Derek dies as his body burns up. He kind of spontaneously combusts from within. After all of this, there's a ceremony where a bench is dedicated to Martha's memory. Then we see that while Clark and Lois are sitting on the bench, that Captain Luthor is watching them. Luthor returns to his RV and he's very upset. And then we see this flashback on his Earth, where we see that he and Lois on his world were actually romantically involved. Now, this is the point where the episode really just kind of threw me off. And what threw me off is the way that Captain Luthor is wearing his beret. Bruh. Bruh, that is not how you wear the beret. That is not even close. I mean, it's, first of all, it's not even sitting on his head properly. But on top of that, it's, you can see like over his ear, you can see like the little bit of the tie from the cord that helps tighten it on your head. That cord should be at the back, not over his ear. I mean, this beret is all jacked up. On top of that, and not only is he not wearing it properly, but on his shoulder you can see that it says Army Ranger. He's a part of the 2nd Ranger Battalion. So if you're an Army Ranger, you don't even wear a black beret. Army Rangers wear tan berets. This is what it should look like, with the excess material folded over to the right side, and the unit patch, which is on the front of the beret, being very visible. I mean, that thing Luthor is wearing isn't even close. Someone in the wardrobe department on Superman and Lois need some guidance, because, I mean, that is not even close to how you wear it. And on top of that, the dress uniform that Luthor is wearing in that picture, that's the old green dress uniform, the old green Class A's. We don't wear those anymore. We wear blue ones now. So, yeah, I mean, nothing about what Luthor's wearing is correct. Anyway, so getting back to the episode. So Jordan and Sarah are having a talk, and then Sarah decides to just go ahead and friend zone poor Jordan. Then Jordan walks home, but while he's going home, he is attacked by Tag, and he demands to know what Jordan did to him and why, and then he starts beating the crap out of Jordan, and the episode ends there. So this was another, I mean, it was a not bad. It was a pretty good episode, I guess. I glossed over some of the family drama stuff because, frankly, I just don't care about it, really. Now, I did like the subplot with Jonathan, though. His life has been completely derailed by moving to Smallville, and I thought it was very believable how he's upset about it, and he hates it there, and he wants to go back to Metropolis. Now, Captain Luthor and Lois being involved back on his Earth is an interesting wrinkle. And also, it does look like Morgan Edge is using kryptonite to give people Kryptonian powers, but apparently the process eventually kills them. Another thing I've noticed is that when they show flashbacks of Clark's past, we only see Martha. We never see Jonathan Kent, Clark's father. This is what I'm talking about when I say that the show does actually have some woke stuff in it, despite what people say. I mean, we can't show a good father now, can we? only good mothers. I know what you're doing, CW. I can see what you're doing. Anyway, the show continues to be decent. Now, my understanding is that it's actually going to be going on hiatus, I believe, for a while they run the last season of Supergirl and that show ends. So I don't know if I'll continue doing these reviews or not when it comes back. We'll see. Anyway, let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments. Please do like this video if you enjoyed it, sub to the channel, and hit the bell for notifications. And I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching.